Congressman, where did Barack Obama grow up?
Well, by his own reports, he spent a lot of his early formative years in Indonesia.
How many?
I'm going to guess it was 5 or 6.
Years did he live in Indonesia?
Perhaps 5 or 6 years in Indonesia.
Then where did he live?
Pardon me?
Then where did he live?
Then he moved to Hawaii, which is America, which is going to be your next point.
Okay, so my question to you is, you know more than your constituents about a lot of things, an awful lot of things, and you know more than your constituents about Barack Obama. Why didn't you say he grew up in Hawaii? Why couldn't you bring yourself to say that? It
would have been a contradiction of the facts. I mean, his really very formative years from age about 5 on to 9 or 10.
Are you denying that he grew up in Hawaii?
It certainly was. It certainly was. I don't think there's any question. Part of his upbringing was in Hawaii.
Now, do you have any doubt about whether he is a Christian?
You know, I think that is up to the president, but I will tell you that I would not present him as anything other than that. It's his religion. That's what he said. In fact, when he gave his speech in Cairo last year,
do you believe he's a Christian?
The Muslim crowd that he's a Christian.
He's a Christian, Congressman?
I take him at his word.
Are you a Christian?
Yes, sir.
Should I take you at your word, or should I maybe suspect you're a Muslim? Do you have a Christian ID you can show me and prove to me you're a Christian?
I think God's going to ask you not to judge as I'm not judging President Obama's religion.
Do you have a Christian ID?
No one has a Christian ID.
Catholics get birth certificates, get baptismal certificates. In fact, there are some religions that do issue certificates of certain kinds. Do you have any?
I don't think I do. I've got a certificate of baptism, so that would be a start.
How do we know you are not a Muslim? How do you know someone is not a Muslim and is a Christian?
As I said, to bring this back around full circle, the president stood in Cairo and spoke to the Muslim world and professed to be a Christian. If he will stand in front of the Muslim world and make that statement, I take him at his word. I don't question his religion. I will say that the criticism of his religion seems to have accelerated his church going, and I think that's a good thing.
Now, do you think the kind of meeting that you had with your constituents helps clarify for them the president's religion, or helps confuse them to the point that 40% of a Republican focus group in your state is completely wrong about the president being a Muslim?
Well, I saw a poll in the Examiner today that showed 46% of Republicans believe that. So I would submit it's not a Republican problem. This is the president's problem. I mean, he has done some to dispel this, but not completely.
Well, let me ask you this. If Republicans believe the world is flat, is that a Republican problem or a geography problem?
If the president had been involved in convincing people the world is flat, it's partly his problem, too. If you listen, the president went to Cairo and gave his speech. He said to the people in Cairo, and he went to speak to the Muslim world. That's how he presented it. He said he's a Christian, but he also said he grew up in 3 continents of exposure to the Muslim culture and that he's familiar with the Muslim culture. He also talked about the call to prayer. And so he reached out and he reminded them of his middle name. The president has done not a lot to dispel this thing that I think is a myth. And so I think it's the president's problem, not a Republican problem.
JFK